Now we review the 2022 film Babylon! Babylon? Does it not stop talking? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am Richard. I have seen Babylon. And before I get into that, of course, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash in the ocean every time I do that. Comment, like, and subscribe. Better world for you and me. Now, Babylon. What you have is the story of a story of maybe 4 or 5 people, tangentially related, in the era of Hollywood where the silent film is being phased out and the talkie is being phased in. You have the aging actor played by Brad Pitt, the young starlet played by Margot Robbie, the immigrant, who is a supporting character, and the black dude, who is a musician that's very talented. And then finally you have the Asian lesbian. Alright. This starts out at an extremely ridiculously, insanely hedonistic party with golden showers and swearing and drugs and people banging on the floor. A dude gets sodomized with a beer bottle. Some people die, and then it all gets broken up by an elephant. But all of our main characters are there. And on the one hand, if you're checking in for violence and nudity, this is probably where you get the most nudity, at least. There's a lot of nudity, but it's background nudity and, questionable quality nudity. If you get a ranking system of nudity, it'd be 3-star nudity as opposed to 5-star nudity. And then the characters sort of split off, yet maintain their intertwined worlds, The aging movie star goes through his decadence. He starts falling apart. His career is not what it was. He does trash films, and the audience laughs when they're supposed to cry. And you know what? It doesn't matter if the audience laughs when they're supposed to cry. The thing that matters is they buy tickets. That's all that really matters. But Brad Pitt's character is reasonably one-dimensional. You never really see him go all at it. There is a point where he's, it's like you see him drunk and you think he's about to fall over, and then he shows what a great actor he is. And yes, he clearly is a very talented man, even though his place in this world has become rather questionable. And then Margot Robbie, it's the party kind of gets her discovered, and she winds up going in there and doing parts and being lewd and crude, but also proving she's just an incredible actress, and she's really got the stuff, okay? And, that this her character arc, she becomes a great well-known actress, but she's very much weighed down by vice. She gambles, she drinks, she sleeps around. Then you've got the immigrant who, he is a supporting role. He's not an on-stage character, but he winds up being very much liked by Brad Pitt's character, which is how he winds up breaking into Hollywood. And, his arc is, much of the movie is actually through his perspective when you think about it. It's not truly his movie. It's not truly anyone's movie. But, that's where it is. And then you've got the black musician who is valued for his talent and nothing else. And there's a small amount of touching on the racism of the day. It's like they say, look, he looks too white. We can't put out a film where he's with a black orchestra and he looks too white because there's anti-segregation laws. Or there's segregation laws that say that, the orchestra has to all be one color. So they make him actually blacken up so that he looks black enough to be with the orchestra so that they can show this movie in the South. And then finally the lesbian, there's not much of a character arc with her. She's just a lesbian. She looks the same throughout the movie. Not much changes, all right? So there's how you have it. Now there's a certain amount of gore and blood and guts. I've seen horror movies with less nudity, violence, and gore. There is a scene where a man eats a rat. Okay? Incidentally, Tobey Maguire when he is on stage, he just steals the show. He is all kinds of creepy. I had to look it up to make sure it was him. Wow. They also did a really great job on his makeup. He practically looks like a recently deceased zombie. But that's neither here nor there. Now, again, this film has been holding on in theaters for a while. It is very close to the top, and yet it is still considered a flop because it's very expensive. And I mean, I cannot say this is a bad film. In fact, I recommend it. It should be on your watch list. You will probably enjoy this film if you like nudity, violence, and swearing and want to see Margot Robbie flash her boob, Don't take your kids to this, obviously. I mean, seriously, do not take your kids to this. This is insane. But, still, I don't know how they got it under a R rating. It is a very solid performance. Really what they should have done is made two movies. One really following Brad Pitt and perhaps the black musician and the Asian woman, and given them more development, which would have, more needs to be said about that topic. Segregation is something that we here in California, we never really had, at least not that I've ever seen in a textbook. We know it was a Southern thing, and we should understand it better. We really should. So it would have been good to have more of that. Just to show us what it was like. I mean, here is a man, he's needed for his talent, he's a very good person. We're not really given much of an intro into his character. He's just a good musician. You don't really see much else about him or his life. So those aspects are somewhat lost. And again, one of the problems with this movie is it was very expensive. I think it was around $80 million. And I think it made back 60 so far. So it's still racking it in, but it was considered a flop at this point. But it's like right now I think it's the number 2 movie in my area. And it's still not making its money back. So on the one hand, a lot of people are seeing this film and enjoying it. And a lot of people are not. So yeah, belongs on your watch list. Solid film. Babylon is enjoyable if you can deal with nudity, violence, bloodshed, and swearing. Anyway, that's just my opinion, and I'd love to hear yours in the comments below. I, of course, am Richard.
Alright, humans. Randall the Rat here, and you can see I'm sporting some bling. I'm reminding you to comment, like, and subscribe so that Richard, the man that owns this channel, can buy this bling. And why would you do that? Because each one of these necklaces is from the Conqueror. And they represent 5 trees. 5 glorious trees that are full of birds and worms and other things that I love to eat. That Richard has paid to have planted. Yes, that's right. He walks, he buys these, they plant trees. So all you have to do is comment, like, and subscribe so Richard can afford to go places where he walks, where he can get medals like this and plant trees, and you could have a better, greener world. Isn't that worth it? So, lazy human on that computer, comment, like, and subscribe. Better world for you, better world for me, and maybe I won't eat your face! Randall out.